Master Business Coach Dan Creed, and welcome to Straight Talk on Business. You know, I keep this monstrous file of idea notes for writing articles and blogs. I see articles that touch me. You know, I research things that intrigues me, and even quotes or jokes that are pinned to someone's wall. We've all seen that. I found that sometime recently, I found time to dig through these files. You see, my muse had temporarily disappeared. I needed to submit an article, and I had no idea what I was going to write about. And then to my rescue came Mr. Harvey Mackay. I've been reading Mr. Mackay's books and articles for years. I've saved one of these articles where he told a story, and I'd like to share it with you. The story was about a small business owner who was really struggling to generate sales. She decided to hire a sales consultant to give her some help and an outside viewpoint. After she'd gone over all her plans and problems, the business owner took the consultant to a map on the wall where she had stuck brightly colored pins where she had a salesperson. Now, she asked, for a starter, what's the first thing we should do? Well, replied the consultant, the first thing is to take those pins out of the map and stick them in your salespeople. You know, sometimes that's exactly what's needed. However, building a great sales team requires some vision and planning. I've hired hundreds of salespeople, and through the ancient, tried and true scientific method of trial and error, I've come up with 5 foundational elements that I always look for in a great sales team member. If I'm hiring, these are the basic criteria that I use before going to any additional steps moving forward. The first thing I look for is pride and confidence. These are elements that you can see in a person before they ever open their mouth. You can see it and you can sense it when the person walks in the room. Do they dress appropriately? Are they proud of their accomplishments so far? And are they confident that they can be a sales leader for you? The second thing I look for is, are they an active listener? Listening is such an art, and it's quickly becoming the lost art of business. Everyone wants to tell. Most listen only to find an opening so they can tell. Find someone who's going to ask questions and actively listening for understanding. Listening for understanding. And then they move to the top of my list. The third thing I look for is work ethic. It doesn't take too many questions to find out if they have a work ethic or not. I'd rather hire somebody that would work their tail off to achieve their goals than I would somebody who felt the least bit empowered. A powerful question here is, have you ever sold on straight commission? Even if the job isn't a straight commission gig, the men and women who have done it and survived are always solid players for you. The fourth thing I look for is, are they a learner? No matter if the applicant is fresh out of school or a grizzled veteran, I only look for people who are avid and constant learners, no matter their age, their background, or their experience. A great question here is, what was the last business book you read or listened to? The fifth thing I look for is, are they naturally likable? Whether we admit it or not, some people are naturally likable and some people aren't. And likability is a key factor in selling anything from an idea to a product or service. So train yourself to do a scan and ask yourself, at first impression, do I get a good vibe from this person or do I feel something else? Look, we can't always get it right when hiring a salesperson. Sometimes a mistake can cost us big when we add up the time and the energy and the value of training and frustrated staff and sometimes lost business. Look, it's time to improve your odds when hiring new sales leaders. There's certainly other factors, but when I follow this simple checklist as my initial test, I seldom make a mistake in hiring. Thanks for joining us on Straight Talk on Business. I'm Business Coach Dan Creed, and if you need help with your personal or professional development, go to my website and we'll talk more.